Maybe it's already. Let me check actually. And
I just
I think
got a
so.
pop-up message about streaming on YouTube.
Right. I think we're live already, but yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone. This is
Hi.
yet another session, live session of hacking with Andrey, Kirk, and Nikolay, Nick. So, hi, Andrey. Hi, Kirk.
Hello, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
9 days later. It's okay. I mean, and yeah, and also recording. I think, did we use it last time, Circleback AI, to record everything? I think, yes, maybe. It's like AI assistant. I'm going to use it for some summary and so on. So we have four actors here. One is passive. Yeah, one day I'm quite sure these guys or others they will add ability to be active for those assistants, and like we could ask, do you remember function name which is responsible for this or something like this? And you remember last time I did a lot of Claude and GPT in background, providing some snippets, right? So I think these assistants are going to be helpful maybe at some point as well.
At some point, we won't be necessary. They will talk to each other.
I was just going to say, there is an old movie reference to this where the professor would show up and give the lecture, and slowly the students were replaced by tape recorders. And then at the last scene, the professor just put a tape recorder to play, and the students were all just recording it. So there were no people in the classroom. I think this has that same analogy, to happen. It'll just be all run by AIs. And one representing developers, one representing everything.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's interesting to be able to quickly find brainstorm and so on. I use it every day anyway. I'm not sure about how about you, by the way, Andrey? Do you use LLMs? No. Okay.
Yesterday, my son. I am teaching algorithms course, and my son is 9. He asked, and this is a course for university students. And he asked me to give him tasks from students. He doesn't program on his own. I gave him a basic task about checking that braces in expressions are balanced. Explaining him like a stack of braces and all that stuff. And he submitted correct version with help of GPT. Without real ability to do data structures and all that stuff. It was kind of cool, and my coworkers told me that perhaps he's smarter than me because he's using modern technologies and I'm just still using my brain to write the code. But well, that's how I do it.
We started using Copilot in our Teams meetings to, obviously it annotates the voice and converts to text, which is great. And then now it produces summaries of some of our meetings, which is good. Now, my job on most of those meetings is actually the one who takes notes and assigns action items. So when I call them out now, when we're done, it actually has all the action items, because I call them out as action items in the meeting, right?
With some mistakes and hallucinations sometimes, right? Yeah, I do it already many months. I mean, I use it, and it's helpful indeed, because you always keep forgetting some pieces, and especially if it's synchronized with particular moments of the meeting, it's great. Anyway, let's return back to Postgres, and what are we doing today? That's the question, right? Dump, restore with analyze, or what?
Yeah, well, actually, what we were talking about is when you do a PG restore, the system does not automatically analyze your table, so you don't have statistics. So if you do a PG restore and fire that up, you're running dangerous in my book. And all of us have probably been hit by it before. Without statistics, things are not going to be optimal. Query plan choices, etc. So it makes sense. And this is, I think, where our discussion was just before we turned on the recording is, well, the question now is, where does this go? Because we could put it at the end of the PG restore, okay, and just have it analyzed. Now, and here's something I learned. You can actually say analyze and have it analyze the entire database. And it'll analyze every table as a single command. That's the...
Even the stuff that you didn't restore.
Yeah, even the stuff you don't PG restore, right? Yeah, in this case. So, so that would be the quickest hack to get you there. But again, if we're looking at this now, so now the structure is PG restore tends to look at the .toc file or the toc.dat file, table of contents, and that's where all the SQL is stored. That does all the work and references the data files, and that drives the PG restore program, right, from an architectural standpoint. So now the question becomes, okay, do we change PG dump to add the instructions to do the analyze? And that sounds like a better engineering solution, because if we put it there, then even if you only restore a subset of the tables in PG restore, you have the commands embedded in the TOC file to tell you to analyze them when you're done restoring. That kind of seems like the most complete solution. So I stole the conversation.
No. You explained very well. I guess we all agree that this is something which is very basic and is needed in almost 100% of cases, right? I have the same feeling as when I first proposed implementation of transaction timeout to Andrey. Like, why? Like, it's something super basic. Why doesn't it exist yet? Right? It's so strange. I think I did some brief research. I couldn't find proposal for this. It feels strange. I might be missing something.
Transaction timeout is already there.
Transaction timeout already there. UUID version 7 already there. Congratulations, by the way. I also, Michael and I spent a couple of years chatting on Postgres FM podcast about how important it is to use buffers in explain analyze. So, and it's also committed finally, and I think maybe it's something like this, maybe not. But so the only way to check is to propose and see, to create a proposal and see if people agree and so on, right? But I agree with you. If we put it inside dump as individual instructions for each table, it feels like it gives more flexibility, and also we use it a lot. I mean, my team and I, we use it a lot. It's custom or directory. I always confuse. Say custom format and lowercase l and uppercase L options in PG restore. So you see a list of all objects which are dumped, and you can exclude steps you don't want. So it gives. So imagine we have analyze for each table in the end of it, right? If we don't want analyze, we can exclude it like that as well. I mean, it gives flexibility and full transparency. Catalog of 4 actions of dump.
I feel like I know very little about PGDump. I just hope that we will learn. I will learn how it works now and just adjusting it. I will see how to do it, because I'm mostly using binary backup, and I know this tool is used.
Yes, but you're inside managed cloud provider, inside it, right? Obviously, you don't give your users these backups, and all backups, we discussed it also in the past. I mean, on podcast and in other places. For if you are a user of managed Postgres, backups are like not visible to you, not available to you, and if you want to create a backup and restore on different place, not in the same managed service, you need the dump logical backup, right?
Yeah.
So it's the only option which gives users the feeling that they still own their data. so yeah, but I understand if being inside such service, you mostly use physical, right?
Yeah, so I will need your help to understand what we are going to change, because like I can do
Yeah.
do the coding, but I just need help to some guidance on what do we want to achieve. Let me share a screen. Do you
Yeah, because
see?
this is like working on P-SQL directly. This is a client as opposed to working on the server side. So we're going to be working on the client. And then, and again, I think even if we add the command to PG dump via PG dump into the TOC, we probably have to change PG restore to make sure it pays attention to it. I'm not sure the architectural design.
Well,
nobody knows how PG dump and PG store are really organized, right?
Do we have some similar settings in PG dump? Something very resemblant.
Yeah. I think about create index first of all, but my index is a separate object, right? Maybe maybe materialized views because they have schema which is created.
And they would usually require that the other tables of data are already created.
Right. I mean,
materialized views.
If we check how materialized views are dumped, I think there is schema creation step and also separately data population, or how to name it, like refresh state, right? To have data inside. So I think maybe this additional step might give us ideas how to create additional steps, right? Maybe like this.
So here I have this binary. How to use it?
Do -- help. Right. I think that tells you. Good. And I'll pull one up.
I see here is the schema.
Yeah, it's minus F for file, I guess, or minus file equals. There, up top.
Okay.
Yeah, that generates. So here's the dilemma. That version. So let's explain PG dump. Okay, PG dump has the capacity to create just a single SQL file. That's kind of the format, by default, unless you tell it. What we actually want is the binary format, which generates a bunch of files
custom
in a folder. Yeah, it's the customer directory. I can think of it as FD. Like here, you're right there. General options, go back. You were right there. Capital F. All right. So, and then F, and then D for directory format. So when you put it in a directory, what it does is the file name you give it is a directory name. In that single file, it'll create a bunch of DAT files. Okay. These, right. There's going to be a toc.dat, and it's a binary file that contains all the SQL. Okay. So if you can PG dump it, and okay. So if you do, FD, like perfect. I'll put I think you put the D next to it. I don't know. I usually use FD, but it probably figured here. Perfect. So now CD into that folder. There you go. So now what it just gave you is you have, good luck. It's binary. Okay. But this contains everything. This contains how to create everything.
It's just compressed. Yeah.
And then the dat.gz file. Oh, that one you had compression turned on, right? So yeah, but if you unzip that one and take a look at it, it's just going to be the equivalent of a copy command using like \copy in P-SQL, where it generates a tab delimited file that's escaped that you can import with standard in. So it usually ends in like that period \.
Sorry. How do I unzip it? Okay, let's just make a dump again with uncompressed.
Yeah, don't use compression. Yeah.
Compression. Okay. Um, uh-huh. This
There
is
you go.
on the table that I have. Yeah, it's copy command
Exactly.
for.
So exactly. So it generates a DAT file for every table, but what you'll pay attention to here too is, by the way, you can do a PG underscore restore minus LV on the current file. So yeah, you could have done it with a period, but yeah, PG underscore restore, and then minus L V as in victory. Put the V next to it. Back up, get the space out. Yeah, space, and then do out /. Yeah, and that should be good. I think it'll figure it out. There you go. So what this does now is this shows you, right? So this jumps through all of the entries and displays the table of content entries for you. And you can see that there's a table, okay, right? And you can see the index on the table, right? Who created it? It's got some stuff there. But, and then if you follow this, do you see that number for the table? It says table data is an object entry, and that is 3663. So if you do an ls, you'll find that that's the name of your .gzip file or your DAT file, right? So if you just do an ls in the out folder, so that's how you figure out what the name of all those DAT files are. It's not related to the object ID in Postgres. So
What's the number?
it is a number that it uses internally for numbering the table of contents entries. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the part that threw me for a circle.
Oh, okay. But do we need to change anything inside this backup, or do we need to change anything in restore?
Well, this now becomes a question. So what you see here is where they tell you that you have the table, all right, public. There is actually, it has the create command behind it. So if you were to VI this file now and search for that 217 semicolon line, you're going to find, if you VI the outs, vim the out / toc.dat, yeah. And now it's binary. And if you search for that 217 or whatever number, it'll actually, or search for create table, because that's what you can see the actual syntax statement. Oh, there you go. It's right ahead of you. It's in the middle of your screen, create table. And now there's your full create table command.
But I need to analyze after create table, after loading table with data. Yes.
Right. So now you see, so
should be in the very end.
This is a driver file, right? The whole purpose of this file is to drive PG restore. Okay. So, and that's why this is kind of a chicken and egg problem. We have to figure out how to add our command to analyze to PG dump, because it creates the file, and then see if we have to add something to PG restore so that it knows when to run the command.
So let's run a restore. PG restore.
Dash help to get the command the way you want it, because I always forget it.
F file.
Well,
file
and then you minus FD, but then you need to tell it where you're putting it. So I forget the command to say which database.
I have a table with million random numbers there, but it seems to be restoring for far too long. What's going on?
So
We can
part of
specify.
my problem is, did you tell it which database to restore to? Because you probably don't want to restore to the same database you backed up, right? So yeah, DB name minus D, you know, and then tell it to go to B instead of A.
No, it just don't want to.
Oh, you got to do minus FD as well. So back to the, so you want minus F out, but now you got to tell it after out, you got to say minus capital F and then D for directory, right? Minus
The
capital
format.
D. Yeah, for the format. Good. And now, oh, I guess it thinks it knows the database name.
Something is wrong here.
But we should be. Output. Does PG Restore have output?
No, PG Restore just outputs stuff to your screen.
I think dash hyphen F is it's output for generated script. We should so the backup name should be used as a parameter without any flags. It's just file name. That's it. Yeah. So hyphen F, it's always output, right? For example, when we use a hyphen L, doesn't matter. Never use hyphen F. Never use
There you
hyphen F.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Here are some remnants of my experimenting. I have not a clean installation. Let me rebuild.
We can just create new database now. Okay.
No, it will be compatible. It will
Okay.
have the same system catalog. It's just so this is some messages from creating an index. So now it
cool.
worked actually. It did restoration.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
So restore did work. What have it done?
I don't know. Didn't you just do a PG init afterwards? You didn't re-init, did you? Hit pSQL and connect database B. Let's see what you got. What? Oh, okay.
Okay, so we can find the place where we create index.
Yeah.
And install there a place where we are doing analyze of each table. Sounds like a plan?
Yeah.
This literal obviously was generated by PG Restore.
So, Andrey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Remove hyphen F. That's it. Just remove it. PG Restore out and database name also. Oop.
Well, this time he ran PG Restore to create out.sql, I think.
Okay.
It works if I say restoring to B. It just worked. Well, it tried to work.
It already exists because you didn't drop the database.
Read the help for hyphen F. I don't understand why we use it and put out there. Out is our dump, right? Or no?
No. Out of PG Restore is SQL created from directory
the
format
binary
of a backup.
Okay. I see. So it's like conversion. Okay.
Let me reinitialize cluster with new binaries rebuild, and now I can restore Postgres database. And here is back my table. I don't remember how it's called. Okay, so we want to add analyze the same place where restore is emitting this literal.
Where material views are probably created, is what we're thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking if we create a table, create mat view on top of it, and just dump everything. We should have two commands in the dump for materials. First is creating schema, and second is generating its content, right? And this step generating content should be it. I actually was going quickly check.
Here is like restore archive, and it is printing some commands like create and all that stuff. Create the tables. Print table of contents entry. That was a code that is just printing comments. Create schema, create large objects.
I double checked materialized view, how it's dumped, and I'm going to send it to Telegram. So we would see that it indeed generates a refresh materialized view as a last step. Right.
Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly where we would put the analyze. Is right.
Yeah, this refresh is like analyze, right? Similar.
Yep.
And we could start from materialized views as well because they also need statistics. Right. I see something is wrong with my connection, right? It looks so.
Refresh materialized view. I don't see here refreshing. Oh. Actually, I was thinking that we can analyze table right after restoring it.
Oh, we need first to insert data. Copy
Yes,
should be done. But also, if there are indexes on expressions, analyze should come after them, because without that we will be missing statistics for expressions, right? So functional indexes, they require additional analyze usually. This means it should go very last step.
There you go.
No.
In dump.pl, keep going. I'll be honest, we could be looking in the wrong place.
It seems like
there it goes. Dump sort.
Yeah, it's dump adding refresh comments there.
Right. There we go. So let's see this. Refresh materialized view. Cool. And then we call the refresh materialized view. Now, does it do these things in any specific order? Is this the order it does them in?
It looks like it's kind of dumpable object comments or something like that. Uh,
Oh, there it is, priority. Yeah, that should be the right one. So the definition of that is, if that's what means what I think it does by saying priority on it, you see object DB object priority type priority. That's probably going to be the order it puts it in.
yeah, PG dump is so complex.
It's more complicated than the database.
I'm starting to understand how complex it is because it actually talks with all the supported versions and understand which exactly. If we introduce new object type, it understands that here I can dump it, but cannot restore it and all that stuff. Okay, so here's tables, then tables data, and nothing else happens with tables. So after having table data, we should
Index. Keep going down. There's index, and the very last one is
after index.
Is prio materialized view, must be last. So read the last three comments on your screen.
Must be next to last. Yeah.
And then ours, I think, comes after refresh materialized view.
So we need to change this comment. Yes,
yeah.
we need to change this comment.
Like we are breaking. Have to add our own.
Yeah. So somebody put this comment must be last, but we are going to break it.
Yeah.
With our logic. Our logic breaks because materialized view also has data and we need statistics for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's start with it.
It sounds scary. Imagine it's Tom Lane put this comment there, right? Okay.
So now Prio, analyze. Yeah.
Like that. But we don't have this.
We got to define it.
It's defined here. So we have it now. It's numbered 46. What is this?
So now,
object?
Right. This looks like this is some kind of priority array. So it returns out the same priority of its value. So it looks easy enough. We just need to add a row that sets it to itself and make sure we increase the length.
Okay, but where is it defined? How to do it?
Well, let's make sure we first have it in the structures, right? Did you add it in this structure here? Yes, you did. Good, perfect. So we have that in the structure. So now we know how to do that. So we know when to do it. So now I think we back up one and we go find the code that calls the Prio materialized view. And we go look at that one. Yeah, let's find that everywhere and see where.
It's just defined.
Oh, that's crazy.
And use it. So this is just a translation from this command to priorities. I think somewhere we just iterate by command.
A switch here. Yeah.
What is dumpable object?
That was that list of objects that we added it to. Remember, we set a dumpable object and then a priority.
We added object type to dumpable object. And so analyze for a table is dumpable object, right?
Yeah.
And we want it being able to generate a query.
Yeah, just copy and paste that.
Seems easy.
And that's,
What is it?
I don't think we
I
need the ID, OUID stuff. I think we just need the object name.
I
Hold
think
on.
it's not
Let's look for
SQL
something that
here.
does a table. Yeah, let's do something that does just a table just to see what it looks like.
Table. It's just the definition. It's some description, but it's not real SQL.
Oh yeah, this is just printing F. Yeah, this is just telling you what it's about to do for each table. Right.
Let's see
Yeah.
here
Okay.
what we do with table, because there are far more occurrences of dumpable object table, and even some comments. I just dependencies. We analyze do not have the dependencies. By the way, I just have here a case for analyze, because it looks like it must be there. Oh, it seems like that's something that is generated in SQL.
So yeah, in this case, PG dump is calling dump table. That's the command that it's calling, that where if we wanted to do that limit feature, this is where we modify the limit, right? And it handles sequences too, which is cool.
It's dump in a sense that it is reading table.
Yes, it's reading the table and creating the .dat file in our case, or it's writing pure SQL, insert into.
But it's not. Where is the select?
Well, let's see what it's doing. It's executing a query based on get columns.
It's
right?
just
Execute
dumping
columns.
description, not a data.
Oh, okay.
I think we should go here and table data. That's the object we want to replicate, and it's much simpler. Here we already have analyze. What is it? Make table data info. Okay, we will see this. Later we will see color of this function. And here's the place where we want to add the limit. It's doing copy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is where it outputs, right? This does copy from standard in. That's what it's actually writing to the file, effectively. copy %s.
Can we add the limit?
Copy column list. That's what's being written to the TOC file. If you open it back when we opened and edited the TOC file, that's the copy command it's going to use to load that DAT file.
Okay, so let's remember this place, dump table data.
Yeah.
And see where we... So we don't have to add dependencies, but we have to add this dump.
Yeah,
Do we have any side effects for no? So we don't have to do anything to dump analyze, because we just need to do it on formatting output.
it's more similar to a create index, right? When they dump an index, all it is the create command. So let's take a look at the do index. Up to. There you go. And when they dump an index, so that's the description of doing it when it's outputting it. Now, there you go. Let's jump into dump index, because this should generate a create index on a table command, right? And then this gets written to the TOC file. Here you go. Up, scroll back up 2 or 3 lines. You went too far down. Alter table, right? So this is now it's checking some things as it's building the SQL, the DDL up, right? So it's doing alter table, % cluster, depending on what, if it's clustered. Okay, cool. Keep going down. And there you go. Now you got alter index. Wow, it's doing a lot. Alter table only. And then it appends the index with index name. Oh, look at that too. By the way, you see the drop index. So there's a flag. There's a flag you can include that says create a drop command before the create statements run. So this way, if it already exists, if you're rerunning it on something, it'll do a drop command first. And that's why you see that drop. So there's it's going to the delete query for the cleanup buffer. That's it. That's interesting. So I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. It's the first time I'm reading this code.
Yeah. So yes, it can destroy. It's destroy? Here archive options. Archive. Here we create archive entry with identification of object.
And this is right.
Create
this is
statement
fundamentally what we need. And you see the create statement and the drop statement are passed in as text. Right? The create statement is the Q data and the del Q data for delete. So that's what we have to add for the analyze. In this case, there's no drop for the analyze. And we know the create statement is going to look a lot like analyze space, fully qualified table name.
So we are including this analysis into archive, or do we just doing it on the restoration? I still do not understand.
Well, this is what we're trying to figure out, right? So there's 2 approaches we can take. We could just hack PG restore to do an analyze at the end, right, of all of the things. But then did we just lose track of every table we restored?